Saturday afternoon. This is Michael Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. And I want to take a look at how things are progressing with our storm system that's coming. It's going to kind of affect us in two phases, one with some rain overnight into tomorrow morning, and then the second wave that'll have a little more impact, and that'll be some rain changing over to maybe accumulating snow tomorrow evening through early Monday. So let's take a look at how that's shaping up. So here's a look at the regional radar through BAM Weather's Clarity app. If you don't have Clarity, it's an outstanding app to have. A lot of features you're not going to get anywhere else, and the personal version of it's only like $9 or $10 a month. So definitely check out BAM for Clarity. But here's their regional radar. It's about 1240 almost, and you can see even in the warmer parts of the day, cold air is wrapping into the backside of this low pressure pretty well. By the time we get into the evening this evening, and this begins to track across northern Madison or northern Indiana, northeastern Illinois, will start to be affected by some pretty heavy snow. For us, whether we get affected by snow in the morning or not is going to depend on how far south that low tracks. Right now, I'm thinking it's going to stay far enough north that if we get any snow in the morning, its impacts would be minimal. Then we'll have some quiet time, and then we'll watch for the backside where we pick up some lake effect snow tomorrow evening. So I'm going to show you a couple of different solutions from the high resolution models. I'm not sure any of them are doing super great. For instance, this is the 12Z HRRR model, and it's really not picking up the amount of snow that's going to be up in this northern and northwestern quadrant. It's really too dry up in there. So, just based on what's going on right now. But keeping that in mind, it still does a pretty decent puts down decent snow here. So we'll take a look at it, and there you can see as we get into um, here we are by midnight tonight. It's got heavy snow going on in northern Indiana. This back in here will be heavy snow. It will not be rain. So, northeastern Illinois is going to get hammered. This is probably going to swing down in and affect areas like Kokomo, maybe Marion, Lafayette. This is probably going to end up being heavy snow. Even by midnight tonight, this is probably going to be a decent quick thump of snow. So then as this advances on, let me get a cursor off of there. You can see it drops the low pressure down here into south central Indiana. If that happens, then again, this snow could make its way down to Madison County. If it stays up closer to I-70, then Madison County probably would not pick up snow in the morning. But this is pushed out by 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m. By 7 a.m., it is bringing backside snow from the low pressure itself into Madison County. Again, with the distance south that this has at low, this we could probably be getting a decent thump of snow. By between about 5 and maybe 9 a.m. in the morning, it could be enough to briefly impact the roads, but the temperatures are still probably going to be in the mid 30s. So whatever falls won't last super long on the ground, but while it's happening, it can impact things. And then as we move on through, this is by 10 a.m., it's getting the snow out of here. And then what we watch is as the low moves away and the winds begin to turn off of Lake Michigan, then we start to watch for these heavier snow streamers to come down through. And this is, getting into 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then that model ran out. But that's it puts down a decent thump of snow. So I'll show you what it has, and then I'll show you the NAM 3K. So you can see the NAM 3K. There are winter storm watches in northern Indiana, and some heavy snow can fall up there. Probably will fall up there. You can see down here around Madison County, it's putting down anywhere between 1 to maybe 3 inches of snow. But this is what falls from the sky. Again, keeping in mind that the ground is relatively warm, the temperatures are going to be relatively warm through tomorrow morning. We'll fall into the 20s by tomorrow night. So whatever falls in the overnight hours will probably stick. But here's a look at what the total snowfall is. Again, 1 to 3 inches. But then let's take a look and go to snow depth. And the snow depth is anywhere from a dusting to about an inch, which is what I have in my forecast. So, again, as we see snowfall maps that are putting down, some of them are putting down 3 or 4 inches of snow. Keep in mind that that's what's falling from the sky. The ground is again still warm. Yes, the snow can stick with the ground as warm as it is and the temperatures as warm as it is, as long as it snows hard enough. And sometimes it snows hard enough, you get some dynamic cooling. And once that surface gets cold, then the snow can stick more readily. So if any of these streamers are stronger or a little longer lasting, then we could end up with, snow that's enough that might need to be cleared off of some roadways or parking lots. So do keep that in mind. This is all we're in a very marginal setup where conditions are just kind of sketchy. Again, if it dumps snow hard enough for a long enough period of time, we can end up with 2 or 3 inches of snow on the ground. Realistically, I think we're going to end up with a dusting to an inch of snow on the ground, and that's kind of what the HRRR model has. So here's the NAM 3K. I'm not going to run you through the forecast, the simulator radar, but the NAM 3K is farther north, so you can see that cutoff keeps the snow more up in the Lafayette, Marion, northern Delaware County line. This is total snowfall using the Kuchera method because it's going to be warmer, but the NAM 3K only gives Madison County a dusting to maybe an inch falling from the sky, and then when you go to snowfall depth, then it really doesn't have much of anything. So just keep in mind that that's the difference in the track of the snowfall. Again, if that low runs a little closer to I-70, then Madison County is probably going to see our first flakes, but nothing of real impact. If it tracks farther to the south, maybe down closer to Bloomington, then Madison County can be looking at some road impacts. So I just want to give you that update right now. Again, my forecast that I put out yesterday was for us to end up with a dusting to an inch. That would be on the ground. Again, a lot more will fall from the sky. It may be snowing like crazy at times, but it's just a matter of, does it snow fast enough and long enough to cool the ground, dynamically cool the air and make it a more impactful snow, or will it be big fluffy flakes that look cool and kind of whiten the ground a little bit, and that's that. So I'll update you, as things shape up a little better, and we'll definitely keep you updated tomorrow as the system takes much better shape. In the meantime, if you support the page financially, thank you so much. I had a timely donation that really helped out. A sponsor that's going to renew, but I continue to lose subscribers. So if you can help the page out and you don't, please do. If you do help the page out and you're a page sponsor, thank you so much. And I will update you tomorrow as things come together better, maybe even this evening. In the meantime, this is Michael Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. We're looking out for our season's first snow. By the way, our first accumulating snow happened on November 21st last year, but we had some lighter snows in October last year. So snow season's starting a little later this year, but we may have our first accumulating snow earlier this year. So, and again, it looks like winter's going to jump off fast the way things are setting up. So again, Michael Mitchell, Madison County Weather Updates. Have a great day.